Hey everybody. Uh, hey everybody. Uh, hey everybody. Wait for a few people to come in before we get started. We are talking about our teenagers today, our wayward kids. Wait for a few people to come in before we get started. We are talking about our teenagers today. And I'm definitely willing to share what I went through with my two deceased, and open discussion. And what is it that we can do with our teens today? How out of control they are, how no matter what you're doing at home, they're still out of control. So, can't wait till I get my setup when I get moved. Definitely going to set up my setup. But I'm going to share with you guys this song that I found out my daughter did before she died. And because she probably used to be like, my mama not going to listen because she cussing and all of that. But she's doing this. She got these two songs that she did, and I want to share them. So, excuse the cursing. Okay.
I'm alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I could take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone, when I'm home I make it right.
How y'all doing today?
When I'm home I make it right.
Home alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I would take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone, when I'm home I make it right. When I'm home, I'll make it right. You home, I'm on the road, living life, doing the shows. When I make it back to you, then I know I made it home. Living life of a hustler. Rest in peace to my brothers. We chasing the thrill, life is real and can't nobody touch us. Feeling real invincible, schooling niggas, no principles. Since back in the day, I've been stacking cake. No mistakes, but you miserable. Just for you, I'll be home soon. Off this road, loving you. 7 days a week, no sleep, it's what I'm born to do.
I'm alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I could take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone, when I'm home I make it right. When I'm home I make it right.
Home alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I would take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone, when I'm home I make it right. When I'm home, I'll make it right.
A young pool rider, I gotta get my dollars. I'm in love with one, them other bitches cowards. I know I did you wrong, never was I at home. Out here in the streets, pimping other hoes. Not really pimping bitches, just in the money bitches. I put my family first, writing from verse to verse. Telling my life stories, my family I adore 'em. I gotta get this paper, cause I am money home. I'm alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I could take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone, when I'm home I make it right. When I'm home I make it right.
Home alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I would take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone, when I'm home I'll make it right. When I'm home I'll make it right.
I'm alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I could take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone, when I'm home I make it right. When I'm home I make it right.
Yeah, so that was one of her little songs she did. Oh, it's coming on again. I don't know what to do with it. Y'all not gonna come out of the clouds? How you doing today? How you doing today? How you doing today? I had a few days of rest this weekend to get over some stuff, get through some stuff, and I'm back. And this is one of my days, and I definitely would like to have an open discussion about our teenagers, and because they're our future, whether we know it or not. These kids out here doing what they do, it's our future. And Yeah, terrible, terrible. It's a whole different breed of kids that I see out here in the world now. And what we gonna do about our kids? What are we gonna do about our kids? But I guess the second question is, what are we gonna do about ourselves? Because we out here running amok. So what do we expect our kids to do? You know what I'm saying? So uh, yeah, nobody in here. I see some people in the bushes. How y'all doing? Guess I'll play her other song. Maybe somebody will come in that wanna come into the chat. Play this one.
Look, Bay Area nigga stand up. LP and Young Pooh Rider.
Kirko.
What you drinking on? Look, what you drinking on? Me, I'm off Patron. It's feeling like lean. The way I'm moving slow. This drink got me thrown, but we gon' make it home. Cause when I'm done macking, I'ma take you off that throne. Life is feeling right. I mean, I'm moving on. I ain't very patient, waiting for you to lose them clothes. Been told I'm bold, you about to be show. Rough sex, late night, got you in the mode. Tell me how you feeling, legs to the ceiling. Love to conversate, playing sexual healing. Seeing you watching and I know you catching feelings. Never been a dreamer, getting money, make believers.
Girl, what you drinking? Tell me what you thinking. We gon' get paid, spend it all in one weekend. Love when you speaking, all dirty when we freaking. If you're down for whatever, that's why we keep meeting. Girl, what you drinking? Tell me what you thinking. We gon' get paid, spend it all in one weekend. Love it when you're speaking, all dirty when we freaking. If you're down for whatever, that's why we keep meeting. Baby, I'm in love, I'm always on the go. I'm always in the streets, but you always show me love. You tell me when I'm wrong, then you tell me when I'm right. You don't have to fuss, we don't have to fight. Just bring that ass over and you know I make it right. I don't have to rush, you don't have to hush. Just let it all out, cause we making good love. I gotta hit the road, I gotta show the blow. But I gotta kiss you cause you know I gotta go. See you later, baby, and you know I am for show. I don't give a fuck about a hoe. Girl, what you drinking? Tell me what you thinking. We gon' get paid, spend it all in one weekend. Love it when you speaking, all dirty when you freaking. If you're down for whatever, that's why we keep meeting. Girl, what you drinking? Tell me what you thinking. We gon' get paid, spend it all in one weekend. Love it when you speaking, all dirty when you freaking. If you're down for whatever, that's why we keep meeting. Girl, what you drinking? Tell me what you thinking. We gon' get paid, spend it all in one weekend. Love it when you speaking, all dirty when you freaking. If you're down for whatever, that's why we keep meeting. Girl, what you drinking? Tell me what you thinking. We gon' get paid, spend it all in one weekend. Love it when you speaking, all dirty when you freaking. If you're down for whatever, that's why we keep meeting.
That's my baby, y'all. Nobody coming in today? Hey, Smooth. Hey, Smooth Carter. How you doing? Talking about these wayward kids today. Well, let me see. I guess I can go ahead and start talking about my son because he started first, and then my daughter came behind him. Um, let's see. He was a pretty. I think he was a pretty. He was different. He was one of my different kids. He was a lot like me, and He it started early with him, and I was not. I was really strict on my kids because coming from where I came from and their father, I chose to try to keep them from that. And it didn't keep him from it. It made him a little bit more. It made him a little bit more curious about what that lifestyle was. And then when I moved to a certain area, which is the area where he got killed, um, he did what he did on his way to school and on his way home, and it was crazy. And I was real hard because I was working, mama, 3 kids, and I taught them how to be very independent. I taught them how to clean. They knew that they was pretty good kids at home. But when he went outside, especially because of the area that we lived in, I guess the peer pressure of that area caused him to get involved in stuff. And he first, let me see, it started because I went through hell with him. I eventually started running my own daycare because I wanted to be able to be home and see what's going on with my children. So I had a 24-hour daycare. So I always had kids at the house. And he started, like I said, he started doing this stuff. And I can't even remember the first thing he did. I know schools, he went to the mall. He stole shoes. I mean, and my kids had everything they needed because, you know, me, I'm a shopper. So he didn't tell me. I didn't find out about it until I think who contacted? I think the jail. No, not the jail didn't contact me. Somebody contacted me about a restitution fee, and I didn't know because my sister she hid it from me, and she went and got him out of jail and did all that stuff, whatever, and yeah, um, so of course I went crazy. Back then I was beating that ass. He got punishment, and I made him wear his old clothes for school for the beginning of the school year. And I think the next thing that he did, he he stole a car. So when I had to get off work and rush up to the police station to go get him out of jail. And we in there in the police. I said, I'm gonna beat his ass. And the police was like, well, wait till you get home, Stephanie. And I couldn't wait till I got home. So we in the parking lot, and my ex-husband at the time, because my son, he thought he was bad. He didn't respect my husband at the moment, and my husband's trying to act like he was defending me or whatever. So they get into it in the parking lot of the jail, and I start throwing some blows. I'm like, wait, hold on, because my husband was like, don't disrespect your mama. So this was like the first little incident. Hella police cars came, and the guy in the police say, he said, Steph, I told you to wait till you get home. I said I couldn't. So, his auntie from his dad's side came and got him, and he went over there with her because he said he wasn't coming home with me. He wasn't getting in my car and all that, whatever. Okay, so that was one of my things. So, okay, so I started doing some research on how to get this kid some help because I didn't want to, I was staying in Richmond. And Richmond, if anybody knows Richmond in California, is rough. It's rough. Hey, prettiest eyes. It's rough. And so I ran up on this program uh, called, well, I don't even remember what it's called, girl. My memory is just so bad now. Been through so much stuff. So I put him in this boys' ranch that they had, and the good thing about it was they liked me so much they only charged me $1. I mean, people was paying a lot of money to have their kids there. So he had a great opportunity. He played basketball. He had a great opportunity. And he felt like I was throwing him away. I wasn't throwing him away as I didn't want him to die because he was not listening to what I had to say. He was not. He was not. And I have my daughter who looked up to him the most. Her other brother, he was a pretty calm kid uh, growing up, my oldest. But these two, and my daughter admired him and the way he was. So I put him in that program. He came home one weekend and went to his auntie's house and he smoked some weed. So when he went back so when I took him back to the ranch, came home, they called me. I guess he was he either brought some weed up there with him. I can't remember totally what happened. And he got kicked out. They said, come get him. So I went up there and I talked to him. And after I got finished talking to him, they said, well, we're gonna give him another chance because of you. And I mean, from where I lived at, where I worked at, um, pretty far. It was pretty far where I took him, and I had to go up there like twice a week. Hi, Transparent Talk. Thank you for stopping by, Mama. So that was that. Then I was the kind of mom, I'm gonna get him help. We went through therapy, we went through all that stuff, and I decided to, I said, let me call this show, because I used to watch the Judge Hatcher show all the time. So I said, let me call this show and see if this shit is real. So I called up there and did a little interview with them, and they invited us on the show. And we were up there in New York for 2 weeks. And first we did our first show in New York for the first few days, and they flew us over to Miami, and we went to meet up with Alonzo Mourning, the NBA player. And he was excited. He was mad at us. If you guys see some of the clips on my on here on my page, you can see. But when we came back from the Judge Hatcher show, and it was really real because Alonzo Mourning had my phone number. He called me. He checked on my son. He checked on me. And wait a minute, let me do this. And it was real. Okay. So I'm gonna skip. So I had quit work, started my daycare, and so I shut down my daycare and I moved to another whole county, which was back then it was really nice, but eventually all the people from all the different areas was moving out there because they was taking Section 8 housing. It was nice, and so everybody came out there, and they ended up messing up the whole. It's messed up now. The city's messed up, Antioch, and so I moved out there, but I couldn't keep him from Richmond. He would run away. He would, jump out my window in the middle of the night, go to Antioch, and I mean, to Richmond. I couldn't keep him from there. So he ended up having his girlfriend there. And I got to the place where I was like, well, you're not welcome here. Because, first of all, I'm taking care of people's kids. And I was the kind of mother that didn't let them hang out in front of I was crazy. I'd hit corners on niggas and about my kids. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he just wouldn't get it. So I stopped letting him stay at my house. So he got kicked out of the house pretty early. It was nothing I could do. He wouldn't listen. He wouldn't listen. And so he ended up going to jail. I told him, I said, I'm gonna do this time with you one time. You got one time. I'm gonna come up here and see you. I said, but you don't learn your lesson from this, you can call me when you get out. So he knew that once he got in trouble, I wasn't coming to see him no more. So he ended up doing some time in Susanville. He did like 18 months. He came home with a little teardrop on his eye, and you know, me, I'm trying to work with God. I'm trying to live by God at this time, trying to change my ways, and so I was hysterical. I was like, "What did you do? Why do you got that on your?" You hear stuff they say. When they get the teardrop, they killed somebody or whatever. So I don't know what was going on, but I was mortified. And at by this time, he hooked up with this girl, and he was staying with her. And so that was that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to. I know I did everything that I could do. So I think it was about the time of, let me see, when I started writing my book in 2010. It took me 11 years to get through the pain of writing that book. And when he read, I did the chapter with the anthology with the women, and he read my story. He was like, "Mama, you went through all of this?" Because they didn't know what I went through as a kid. And they was like, "Dang, you strong." And so what I ended up doing is I sat him down and I told him, because I was very honest with my children. I was very honest with my children and real about about myself, and trying to protect them from. Hey, thank you, Chop. And try to keep it real, because I didn't want them to be molested. I didn't want them to go through the things that I went through. So I sat him down and I told him everything, and everything was how he was conceived. Um, I was like 14 when I got with their father, and I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I had my first son at 15. Um, I got out the game because I used to sell drugs. I was 13 out there on my own. 14 got with my baby daddy, and then 15 had a baby, had my first son. And it was wild because he's kicked my ass. And finally, so I sat him down and I told him, I said, um, his father had went to jail. I had my first son. His father went to jail, and when his father would go to jail, his sister used to put me out. You know what I'm saying? So this particular time, I wasn't a cheater, but I cheated, and my baby father was hollering that ain't his baby, but I was pregnant with. My God, that scared me. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. So I had cheated on the baby daddy, whatever, and he had went to jail. I was already pregnant, and he got out, and he was all through my pregnancy. That ain't my kid. That ain't my kid. That ain't my kid. That ain't my kid. And so at that point, I was a little girl. I was still a kid, and so I didn't want the baby because he said it wasn't his. This is very embarrassing, but I don't care about telling us. I write it in my book. Um, so I had went to get an abortion, and I had ate a donut on the way. They didn't do it, so I ended up keeping my baby. And all that time, I was despising this baby inside of my stomach because of his father. And so that connection that a mother has with a child, I kept my baby. I loved him, but I didn't know how to love this baby that I thought this nigga didn't want. It ain't funny. So I told my son the truth. And I said, but I want you to forgive me. I said, I love you. I want you to I'm trying to show you my love by getting you the help and support and riding up and down these highways and doing all that I do to try to save your life. I don't want you to die out here. So it was like something, and by him reading my story, he was like, "Mama, you didn't know you was like, yeah." I said I was a kid, but I recognized him because the relationship that I had with my mother was the same thing, no connection. She didn't, she thought, um, well, she told me she was raped, and whatever that was, it was. But yeah, so so that bond that a mother has with her child was the same. And so he kind of grew up feeling, he's a middle child. So where do I fit in at? So he would do whatever he could do to get my attention, whether it was negative or positive. He could never do no right, he felt in my eyes. And I wanted that feeling for him to stop feeling this way because it's not like that. Each one of my kids were different. I had one that was very, didn't really uh, need my attention the way the other one did, which he really did because he felt like he was thrown away. And then I had this other child. I had this other child who's trying to find out, where do I belong at? And then I had my other two. I mean, my baby, who was the baby girl, which was my angel. Couldn't She couldn't do no wrong. Okay, and so I believe it was like how many years later? That was 90. I mean, that was 2000. The book, first project I did was 2010. So he got, no, 2000. I think that project was in 2008. Well, because he got murdered in 2010. So it was like a light bulb had turned on in his eyes, and he was like, man, my mama did the best she could with me. So he just began to change. He started changing. And I remember May, I had did that project when my first chapter went out with the women, and the book release with Terry McMillan was our keynote speaker. Um, he called me and he was like, "Mom, I'm trying to get there." He had just had his baby, so his baby was like probably a few months old because he died right after the book release. So the book release was 2000 and it was 2010 May 7th, the book release. So he called me. He was like, "I'm coming, Mom. I'm trying to get the baby. I'm trying to get a ride to get out there." And I was like, "Okay, baby, come on, come. If you can't come, don't worry about it. It's gonna be recorded. Whatever. Don't trip." And so he didn't make it. And he called me the next day, which is Mother's Day. And that's the last time I talked to him. And he said, "Ma, I got this job. I'm working now. I got my first legal car. And I'm going to come see you and bring the baby." So I said, okay. That was Mother's Day. Then on the 13th, that's when I got the call that he got shot. He got killed. And so Mother's Day was the last time I talked to him. And then my daughter, she started coming into her own. And she loved her brother so much, so much, so much, so much. She loved her other brother, but she just, she had that same energy I had as a teenager. My son had as a teen, my son had, one of the, this lifestyle is everywhere. So, they dibbled and dabbled, but they stayed respectful to people. They weren't disrespectful kids. They were some good kids. And we had. They loved the dirty ground I walked on. So think it was 2012. Was it 2012? I can't even, girl, my mind. I've been through so much shit. I can't even remember stuff. But whenever I got married a 18. No, I got married August 16th. I don't even remember. So I got married again, and the day that I had my little party for my marriage, she came in there and she said, "Well, this is a good time," because I was very, very, like I said, I was strict on my kids. My daughter couldn't go nowhere; she couldn't spend the night at nobody's house. I was very, very, very protective, and she was like my hip. She was like always on my hip. So she felt the need that day to come and say, "Mama," she said, "I like girls," and I said, "What? What? Where'd that come from?" And she told me. So I guess she felt like I had this man in my life and he would take my attention and I wouldn't be watching her so bad, so hard, but that was nothing from the truth. And so she told me and I was just like I was blown away because I didn't know where I didn't see that. But people told me they saw it. I didn't see it though. I didn't see it. I didn't see it because I dressed her. She was in her little furs and her little, at that certain age, she was getting her eyelashes. I just kept her clean. I kept her sharp. And she, and then one day I came home from work and all her girl clothes was out the closet. She had the biggest room in the house, walk-in closet, biggest room in the house. She put everything. When I came home, it was a pile of clothes in the middle of the floor. And then she had the little jeans and stuff that was in her closet. And I was like, whoa, whoa. So I didn't do well with her becoming becoming gay and then wanting to look like a boy. That bothered me. So I didn't do so she felt like I hated her. And so she started running off. She started running off. She started running off. And so she would always say, I wish I could die. I wish I'd die and be with my brother. I wish I would die. And so we went, a few years, she got in some trouble in San Francisco with some of her partners. They robbed somebody. She was at a gay club or whatever. And she got in some trouble. So they took her and put her in juvenile. Then they put her in a home. And I would have to do what I had to do. I had to do what I do so I can try to get her up out of there. So I told her the same thing I told her brother. I said, I'm gonna do this with you this time, but I'm not gonna do it no more. So if you get in trouble again, I'm not gonna do it. They tried to give my baby 2 strikes, and I was like, oh hell no, hell no, hell no, And so she did the program, and I did it with her. I went up there, I was working, I was a manager at Sears at that time, and I was working with her. I would go up there and go to therapy with her and stuff. And, she had this therapist that was trying to make me believe that my child was born like this. And, I'm not into debating with nobody about it, but I know that God creates us in the way He creates us. And that's it, and that's all. So I told the woman, I said, if you want me to come up here, I said, I love that little girl right there. You're not finna convince me that she's a boy. She's not a boy. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? So if you want me to keep coming, I'm not even saying it the way I said it because I said it to her real rough. You know, I said, I'm up here because I love my daughter. She's not a he to me. Hey, room shaker. And so if you want me to continue to come up here and do the therapy with her, then don't try to give me no books on it. I don't care. I know what God said. God said He created man and woman. She's a woman. Okay, so we're not gonna get into that. So the lady respected me and understood that uh, this is what it is. And if you want me to come up here, I, we're not gonna try to convince me that my daughter's a dude and she was born like that. Oh, I'm trying to fix this room shaker. My mouth went out. Hold on a second. So I did that with her, and she got out, and she continued to get in trouble. She continued to run away, and then she was of age, went to jail, and they knew my motto: I'm gonna do it with you once, I ain't gonna do it with you twice. So they knew to not call mommy until they get out, because yeah, it was crazy. Okay, so she finally realized, we both came to an agreement that I don't like it. She don't like the way I feel. She didn't like the way I feel, and I didn't like the way she tried to force me. But I told her, I love you. You are my baby. You know. And she would try to get her little girlfriends to call me mama, and the kids would call her daddy. It was sick. It was just some shit that I couldn't understand why I had to go through this. Why? What? So I mean, we pretty much struggled with that part until she died, because the girlfriend, when it happened, when she got hit. So this one particular day, I had wrote on my Facebook page, because my book was going to hit the stores February the 7th. I mean, was it April the 7th? She got killed February the 7th. April the 7th. So she I called, no, I wrote on my Facebook. I said, I don't know what's going on with me right now, but I'm feeling like labor pains. I don't know if it's the labor pains from the book. And as I was writing this, you guys, I swear to God, not seconds later, she got killed. And yeah, I got the call at my door, the person saying what they said, whatever, come up there. And I went up there, and it was my baby. And she had took her girlfriend to the cheesesteak factory in San Francisco, so they was on their way back. And on their way back, my daughter said, I got to, she wanted to get a black so she can roll up or whatever. And she told her girlfriend to go home. And she went over to the gas station, because they were walking, they were on a BART, and then they walked down from the BART. So the girlfriend kept going home. She hit across the street to go get a black. And mind you, I had two gas stations. There was one gas station on this side, freeway entrance, gas station on this side, then McDonald's. Okay. So she went over there, went out and got the black. She didn't make it home. And the people in there's a trailer park across the street from McDonald's and another gas station. And they could hear her say, because she was in a crosswalk crossing the street, and they ran the light and hit my baby. And so, you hear the streets talk and all that, and everybody felt like it was the girlfriend, because the girlfriend had just had a newborn baby on my daughter. I think they were together for like 3 years, and I kept telling her, leave that girl alone. She's still like, she's still into the dick, and just her lifestyle by itself was dangerous. She had got jumped by some dudes. She had the dreads and um, real little bitty thing, laughing. But she she wasn't no joke out there. But she wasn't into no mess. So whoever hit her on purpose. And so they came and got me, and I think it was a day after her funeral. I got a text message on my phone, and I had to have my phone number for years, for years. And I got a text saying, I know who hit your, I know who hit, I know who hit your daughter. Um, it's a secret, something, some bullshit. I still got the shit saved in my phone. And I said, who is this? And they was like, don't worry, bitch, because you could be next. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck going on here? What's going on here? So everybody was a suspect at that point because I'm like, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody. Who killed my daughter? And why? Because she wasn't into no stuff. My son wasn't into no stuff when he got murdered. He just happened to come outside at the wrong time while they was hitting up the block. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, now I'm scared. I don't trust nobody. And I had actually left my apartment and went to go stay with my cousin for like a month or something. And I was like, I ain't scared of no, I can't let nobody run me out of my crib. You know what I'm saying? So I packed it. The only thing I took was my clothes and my shoes. My son was staying there too. My oldest son was staying there too. But I was like, I have to get away because she got killed. It's like when I leave out of my apartments, I got to drive by where she got hit every damn day when I leave my house. So I was devastated. I was devastated because I couldn't believe that this is happening to me again. God, what did I do? What part of ministry is this? You want me to help people with my story, and you want me to speak here and speak there, and I was like, what part of it is this? So during that process, I damn near died inside because it was like one child ripped, another child ripped again, and you know, I know that I did as a mother what I was supposed to do. I wasn't one of them kind of mothers that didn't say that was like, oh, that wasn't my child. My child didn't do that. No, I knew my kids. I knew what they were capable of, and I knew what they wouldn't do. So I wasn't one of those kind of mothers. And I was one of them kind of mothers that I'm going to go get help. If you do something up in here and I find out you do it, I'm taking you to jail. I'm going to report you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to either. If I don't do that, they're going to kill you. And I was one of them kind of moms. And I knew that I wrote for my kids. And I look at now, the way that these kids are now, because it was bad then, but it's worse now. It's worse now. So I want to have this discussion today. First of all, I want to share what I went through with my two babies that are no longer here. And then I wanted to, what we going to do about our kids? How far are we willing to go to save their lives? You know what I'm saying? I felt like I did everything I could do to save my kids' lives. And, it wasn't enough. It was God's will for whatever happened to happen. And it's part of my journey. It's the hardest part of it, but it's the part that I have to embrace, accept, and try to encourage another mother. You know, we got to fight for our kids because they are our future. And if we are not doing anything, I mean, a lot of mothers have to work and all of that stuff. I mean, I had to work through all that and I had to hit the highways, but I had to. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I decided to leave the workforce for a while and go be a mother at home and take care of other people's children so that I could keep my eye on my children. And this is where I'm at now. So that part. So, I just wanted to kind of come on here. I promise you that I'm gonna stay focused. I won't be entertaining anything other than what I'm doing on my platform. And this is it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a hard journey, but you can do it. We can do it. And I feel like us as mothers who are raising these young ones, that we definitely have to keep our eye on our children even when we have to work, even when it is hard, especially for single mothers and single fathers. You know, I didn't have two parents in the home. So I was hard because I refused for them to turn out like I did and not have what I didn't have. I didn't have my mama, I didn't have my father, but they had me and I was there and I stayed in that ass, you know, and they understood it. My son didn't understand it until, you know, the thing I thank God about is I heard both of them in their last moments saying things that my friend's partner told me that he said the day he got killed, they was at the top of the hill of Richmond. He said, if I die today, my mama proud of me and I made peace with God. So whatever it is he did, he repented for it. And I saw the little text, the little messages my daughter would leave on her Facebook, and it was always, I love my family, because she realized that these little chicks she was messing with, because she had about four, she stayed in a relationship with cute girls. I was like, you pick cute girls with your brothers, you know what I'm saying? And the girls loved her, but ooh, um, I could hear her change in her mindset before she died. You know what I'm saying? So I hold on to that. And I know my babies were some good kids. And they're no longer here. Would I want them back? No. I would want them back in this world. No. No, it's too messed up. I mean, look here on YouTube. Our young kids are just they running amok in my room shaker voice. And it's just messed up. It's messed up out here. It's messed up out here. So if anybody got any questions for me, you're welcome to ask me. Or any suggestions of what we can do to help our youth today. I linked my link on the I lost my back to my earring. Where'd it go? Up here. So pretty much that's it. I mean, share my story. I hope it helps somebody today that might be going through with their teenagers. Because it's rough. It is rough out here. It is rough out here. It is rough out here. I could imagine, well, that let's see, my son was 23 when he was murdered. My daughter was made 25 one week, and the next week she got killed. So they were coming into their maturity ages and ready to do something different. And God said, right now, let me take them right now. Let me take them right now. And that's what happened. That's what it is. Well, it's pretty quiet. Love y'all. And guess what? Yeah, that's the part. It starts at home. And that's my whole thing is what are we going to do as each individual that have children? Are we going to do whatever it takes, therapy? A lot of these kids need therapy. A lot of parents need therapy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's cool, babe. It's okay. It's okay to criticize. Um, what are we gonna do? What responsibility are we gonna take? My responsibility that I took with my children is I kept it real with them, and I got honest, and which helped them to maneuver through the pain that they had of my mistakes. And I believe me being so hard on them and them hearing, kids, when you have a mama and you have a father that lived a certain type of lifestyle, and the kids grow up and they start hearing that stuff, and that stuff is impressive to them. And, my kids were impressed by what they heard. And it was none of it cute, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And me, I like talking, like listening to my son and their dad talk now. Their dad is in prison. He got 100 years, and they all have the same father, and it just trips me out. It trips me out because I was blind to that because once I got out of that lifestyle, I was like this. I was going to church, I was singing, I was doing this and doing that and doing this, and I was trying to stay away from that type of lifestyle, but it was still in me. It was still in me. It was still in me. And one day, I'll do some story time, and I will definitely share about what I went through out there when I was a teenager, and I went through a lot. I went through a lot. I went through a lot because I was always looking for somebody to love me. I was always looking for love in the wrong places, and you know, and I was wild. I didn't care. I was angry. I was a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, thank God he preserved me. Because he said she gonna get on a platform and she's gonna speak, and I'm a keeper. I'm a keeper, so she'll do that because I'm just bold enough to come out here and not care what people think, you know, about me and about my life, and I try to be an inspiration and encouragement for other people. I'm not as sharp as I was a few years ago because I've been through so much in my body and my God, but it's still there. It's still there. It's still there. And I'm going to do it the best way I could do it, as long as I can do it. Like I said, I'm going to die doing what God called me to do. So, but I'm not going to keep you guys long. Um, I just really wanted to start doing my platform and leaning in the direction that I'm going. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm trying to get with a few people to do Chop It Up TV. We need to holler because we need to do that. I think that's going to help a lot of people. Um, like I said, I'm going to do a live with Chop It Up TV about addiction because I definitely like to share my journey about that and how I maneuvered and how I stayed clean so many years. It's been 40 years since I've been clean. Um, and I say clean. I might have drank or hit a blunt or something, but never ever will I smoke crack, okay? And I started that shit when I was young. I was really young, you know what I'm saying? And um, okay, I hit him on Twitter. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, you guys. I just want to come on. I'm trying to get my little hours in little by little. I feel good today. I had some time to get some rest and get through some stuff, and you know I'm just gonna do what I am, do my part on here. Everything else don't matter. So I thank you that stopped by. Thank you, sis. Criticize. Thank you, everybody that stopped through. Thank you, even in the bushes. Like, subscribe, like to this channel. Thank you. Thank you, the Kendra Gray, McCray. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my hardest to say I'm staying focused right here though. I'm staying focused right here on this lane right here. and I get caught up in the YouTube stuff. I watch in the clouds. But other than that, I'm going to keep doing me. Love y'all. I thank you for stopping by. I thank you for listening, even for those who didn't come out of the clouds. I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate the ones that are going to watch later. And I hope you got something out of it. And let's save our children. Let's save our children. And it starts at home. It starts at home, no matter what nobody say. Yeah, but they did that. Nah, it starts at home. The foundation. So let's save our children. Let's save our big kids. Go get some counseling. Hug them. Tell them you love them. You know. But God bless you guys. And I love you. And I don't know if you guys heard my song. I mean, my baby song, but I'm going to play one of her songs as I get ready to come out of here.
I'm alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I could take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone. When I'm home, I make it right. When I'm home, I make it right.
Home alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I would take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone. When I'm home, I make it right. When I'm home, I'll make it right. You home, I'm on the road, living life, doing shows. When I make it back to you, then I know I made it home. Living life of a hustler. Rest in peace to my brothers. We chasing the thrill, life is real, and can't nobody touch us. Feeling real invincible, schooling niggas, no principles. Since back in the day, I've been stacking cake. No mistakes, but you miserable. Just for you, I'll be home soon. Off this road, loving you. 7 days a week, no sleep, it's what I'm born to do.
I'm alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I could take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone. When I'm home, I make it right. When I'm home, I make it right.
Home alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I would take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone. When I'm home, I'll make it right. When I'm home, I'll make it right.
A young fool rider, I gotta get my dollars. I'm in love with one, them other bitches cowards. I know I did you wrong, never was I at home. Out here in the streets, pimping other hoes. Not really pimping bitches, just in the money bitches. I put my family first, writing from verse to verse. Telling my life stories, my family I adore 'em. I gotta get this paper, cause I am money home. I'm alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I could take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone. When I'm home, I make it right. When I'm home, I make it right.
Home alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I would take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone. When I'm home, I'll make it right. When I'm home, I'll make it right.
I'm alone on the phone, wishing I was home tonight. On the road doing shows, wishing I could take a flight. Know you miss me when I'm gone. When I'm home, I make it right. When I'm home, I make it right.
All right, you guys. That's a little piece. She called herself Pooh Rider. Funny. But I'm gonna get up out of here. I thank you guys for stopping by. And Dan, love you. Peace. Muha.